They are ripe for change. Eliza, what do you think about the idea of a political movement that Eva raised?
Well, I'll tell you where I'm most concerned about this now. I am watching, after a decade of international but American occupation of Afghanistan and women exposed to the idea of women's rights, and the level of violence against Afghan women has never been higher. And it's high in the home, and it's not highest in rural homes, it's highest in urban homes where women have been in a decade of workshops and seminars about their rights to no avail. So what I would really like to see taken up in a much more public way, and this is, I'm trying to write about this right now, is what is it going to mean for Afghan women, for the United States to negotiate with the Taliban, and after so much hot air about women's rights in Afghanistan, to let women entirely down?
Question number 3.
Can I jump in with
an
action step? So what I often do, there's so much power in this room and so many skill sets. If someone will stand up and be the person who's willing to take emails for the movement that starts here, and then you can meet and set your agenda, you know, step by step. Thank you. What's your name? What's your name? Say it again.
Okay, we'll get the organisers connected with all of that later on.
Take any emails.
Thank you.
Eva
right,
will take emails too. Number 3, yep.
Hi, I was asked the other day whether I considered myself a feminist, and I was shocked that I couldn't 100% say yes, but it's because I feel that as a 20-year-old, I'm just way too confused by the idea. And I've been met with kind of 2 extremes, one being throughout my schooling that yes, you can do whatever you want, but with the underlying rhetoric of not at the risk of being a homemaker and being a woman, and the other being, which I understand that you have been trying to dispel, that you have to hate men and you have to be anti-men. So I guess my question is, for my generation, how do you navigate a medium between being feminine and keeping your female identity and being empowered and successful?
Very interesting question. Who wants to take that up?
I think there's some really interesting stuff happening in the fem movement, which I guess has sprung from the fem community in the lesbian community, but I think particularly online, again, it comes back to online. I mean, I'm a freelance writer. I work from home. I'm on the internet all day in my pajamas, so I guess that's my point of contact, and you know, that might be worth looking into. I'd also like to reiterate support for the CWA. I make jam every year at the Royal Show, and for a long time, and this year I'll be defending my blue ribbon in raspberry jam for the 3rd year running, but for a long time, and I think this maybe kind of plays into what you're asking, because the CWA has been traditionally seen as this very old-fashioned, you know, making lace doilies group of women, and I guess because I was involved with the Royal Show, you know, I found out that they actually do have some really interesting political ideas, which I suppose are not expressly feminist because they don't call them that. But, you know, you just need to look in their newsletter and they are saying really interesting things about domestic violence, about the environment, etc., etc. However, I think it's really important to understand that feminine is not an anti-feminist stance.
Yeah.